My friend, my friend, let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with your calf muscles tightening so painfully that you had to jump out of bed and massage them? Or perhaps you were just sitting quietly in your chair and suddenly your legs twitched uncontrollably, restless, almost like they had a mind of their own? If you've experienced this, you know how frustrating it feels and how it reminds us that our bodies aren't as obedient as they once were in our younger years. I had a patient named Robert, 68 years old, from California. He told me, "Doctor, every night I wake up 3 or 4 times because of cramps. I can't get a full night's sleep anymore. During the day, my legs feel as heavy as stones. I thought I was just getting old and had to live with it. But the truth is, it wasn't just age. Those cramps were his body crying out, telling him it was missing a quiet but powerful mineral: magnesium. Magnesium is like the silent conductor of an orchestra, standing backstage, guiding the harmony between muscles, bones, and nerves. Every time you walk, climb stairs, or simply rise from a chair, millions of tiny muscle fibers contract and relax in rhythm. Magnesium is the conductor that keeps the rhythm smooth. Without it, the orchestra falls apart. Your muscles cramp, stiffen, or fatigue far too quickly. Picture this. You're strolling through the park on a lovely afternoon, sunlight gently warming your shoulders, when suddenly your calves seize up, locking tight. You stop, sit on a bench, sighing in discomfort. Instead of enjoying the simple joy of walking, you're distracted by unexpected pain. That's what magnesium deficiency can do. But magnesium does more than just relax muscles. It has a more delicate role. It helps calcium go to the right address. Calcium is famous for building bones, but without magnesium to guide it, calcium can end up in the wrong places: soft tissues, joints, even arteries, causing stiffness and poor circulation. You see, magnesium is the ferryman, carrying calcium to the right destination. A large European study followed thousands of older adults and found that those with higher magnesium levels had stronger bones, fewer fractures, and walked with more confidence. You don't need a medical degree to understand this. Low magnesium means weak, cramping legs. Enough magnesium means lighter, freer steps. I remember another patient, Margaret, 72, who came to see me because she couldn't sleep. She told me her legs twitched constantly at night. After testing, we discovered she was severely deficient in magnesium, partly due to the diuretics she was taking for blood pressure. I suggested she add more magnesium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, and avocado, along with a small magnesium citrate supplement. Just 3 weeks later, she came back smiling. "Doctor, I can sleep again. My legs have stopped dancing all night." You see, sometimes a solution isn't a complicated prescription. Sometimes it's as simple as giving the body the natural nutrients it's been missing all along. Now you might be wondering, am I low in magnesium? Common signs include leg cramps, restlessness, poor sleep, fatigue, constipation, or even irregular heartbeat. The only sure way is through a blood test. But I can tell you this: most of us over 50 are at risk because stress, medications, and diet gradually drain the body's magnesium stores. The good news is that magnesium is hiding in plain sight: a handful of roasted pumpkin seeds, a slice of creamy avocado on toast, a plate of sautéed spinach with garlic, a simple bowl of beans, delicious foods that double as natural medicine. Include them often, and you'll notice your legs feel lighter, your steps steadier. I often tell my patients, caring for your legs is like caring for a lifelong companion. Nourish them, and they'll carry you far, steady and confident. Neglect them, and they'll slow you down, or even stop you. Do you remember the last time you took a walk without worrying about cramps or pain? If it's been a long while, maybe it's time to pay closer attention to the magnesium in your diet. As a doctor who has worked with people over 50 for more than 30 years, I can tell you the difference after restoring magnesium is remarkable. Patients walk with ease again, they sleep better, they're less irritable. Many tell me it feels like their legs have been given back their youth, and I believe you deserve that same experience. Aging doesn't have to mean weakness, sleepless nights, or heavy legs. Aging can be different if we give our bodies what they truly need. Magnesium is one of those gifts. So tomorrow when you prepare a meal, try adding a handful of almonds, a few leafy greens, or slices of avocado. Small choices like these can become the first step toward a longer, healthier, freer journey with strong legs. And I'll leave you with this question. If a small change in your daily diet could help you walk farther, sleep deeper, and enjoy life more fully, would you be willing to start today? Potassium. My friend, there's a feeling that so many people over 50 have told me about. They say, "Doctor, the moment I get out of bed in the morning, before I can even take a few steps, my calf seizes up like someone's gripping it and won't let go." Have you ever felt that? One of my patients, Linda, 64 years old from Texas, once told me, "Every morning I dread putting my feet on the floor. I know within seconds the cramps will come. Some mornings they're so painful it brings me to tears." I thought this was just part of getting older, but the truth is, it isn't always age. Very often, the real problem lies in a mineral that's so common, so essential, and yet so often overlooked. Potassium. Potassium is the silent partner of your muscles. Imagine it like the electrical current running through a wire, carrying signals from your brain to every tiny muscle fiber in your legs. Without enough potassium, those signals flicker and break. The muscles contract suddenly, involuntarily, causing the cramps you know too well. In other words, potassium keeps the conversation between your brain and your muscles flowing smoothly. Picture this. You're standing with friends after dinner, laughing, chatting. Suddenly your legs tremble as if they might give way. You reach for the chair to steady yourself. That moment of fear. What if I fall? What if no one can catch me? That loss of confidence can often be traced back to low potassium. Here's something most people don't know. Potassium also helps keep bones strong. You've probably heard calcium is key for bones. That's true. But potassium is like the bodyguard. It neutralizes excess acids that, over time, can eat away at bone tissue. A potassium-rich diet not only prevents cramps, it strengthens bones, lowers the risk of osteoporosis, and protects against hip fractures, the very thing many older adults fear the most. A study from the National Institutes of Health found that older adults who ate more potassium-rich fruits and vegetables lost less bone density as they aged. And more importantly, they stayed mobile for longer. In other words, they didn't just live more years, they lived with more quality. I think of James, a 70-year-old retired gym teacher. He came to me worried. "Doctor, I feel like I'm losing my edge. If I stand too long, my legs shake. Climbing stairs leaves me out of breath. My legs feel weak." After testing, we discovered his potassium levels were below normal, partly from a diet lacking fruits and vegetables, partly from the diuretics he took every day. We adjusted his diet, more bananas, sweet potatoes, spinach, and I encouraged him to eat an avocado each week. 2 months later, he returned beaming. "Doctor, I climbed 3 flights of stairs without shaking. I feel young again." You see, just one small change in daily habits can transform quality of life. So you might be asking, how much potassium do I need? For adults, women need about 2,600 milligrams daily, men about 3,400 milligrams. That may sound like a lot, but it's actually easy to get from food. A baked sweet potato? Almost 500 milligrams. A ripe banana? About 400 milligrams. A serving of steamed spinach, a fresh orange, or even a baked potato with the skin on. Each of these is packed with potassium. I often tell my patients, let food be your medicine. Instead of relying only on supplements, start with nature's gifts, fruits and vegetables. Because in those foods, along with potassium, you'll also find fiber, vitamins, antioxidants, all working together to protect not just your legs, but your heart as well. But I must also give you a word of caution. If you have kidney disease or take certain blood pressure medications, you should consult your doctor before increasing potassium. Too much in those cases can be harmful. My friend, too often we accept weakness as an unavoidable part of aging. But in my 30 years of experience, I've seen over and over that it isn't always so. Many times it's simply that the body is missing a small brick in its foundation. For your legs, that brick is potassium. Think back. When was the last time you climbed the stairs without stopping halfway? The last time you walked through the park without trembling or worrying about falling? If it's been too long, maybe your body is speaking to you, asking for more potassium. Adding potassium doesn't just mean eating a banana or a sweet potato. It means giving your legs a gift: stability, freedom, and the confidence that you can keep moving forward, keep enjoying family outings, dancing at celebrations, or strolling through a sunset evening. You deserve legs that aren't just strong enough to walk, but strong enough to live fully. And sometimes that begins with the simplest choice, right at your dinner table tonight. Calcium. My friend, if magnesium is the silent conductor and potassium is the electric current that keeps your muscles moving, then calcium is the very foundation, the bricks that build the strength of your legs. Yet many people only think of calcium when they hear the word osteoporosis, forgetting that every step you take, every time you rise from a chair, every tiny contraction and release of your muscles, all of it depends on calcium being present. Let me paint you a picture. You're sitting in your favorite armchair in the living room. You stand to get a glass of water, a simple action you've done thousands of times in your life. But this time, your knees wobble, your legs don't quite obey, and the heaviness forces you to pause. That's not just weak muscles. It may be your bones and body quietly reminding you they're missing something essential: calcium. One of my patients, Dorothy, 73 years old, broke her hip after nothing more than a small stumble in her kitchen. When we ran tests, we discovered severe osteoporosis. Her bone density had dropped nearly 40%. Through tears, she told me, "Doctor, I never thought a tiny slip could turn into a disaster. Now I'm afraid to even walk across my own home." And sadly, I've seen this too many times in my career: a small fall leading to a lifetime of consequences. After age 50, our bodies lose calcium much faster than in youth. Bones no longer rebuild as strongly, they begin to cash out, little by little. If we don't replenish calcium, our bones slowly become hollow, fragile, and prone to breaking, especially in the hips, spine, and legs, the very parts that carry us through life. But calcium isn't just about strong bones. It also acts like a signal for your muscles to contract and relax. Have you ever woken up with a violent leg cramp at night, or felt your muscles stiffen for no clear reason? Often that's your body whispering, "I'm running low on calcium." I often ask my patients, do you sometimes feel your legs growing heavier, your steps slower? Have you considered that it may not just be age, but your muscles and bones starving for calcium? The good news is nature has given us abundant sources of calcium: milk, yogurt, cheese, simple foods that are treasures for your bones. If dairy doesn't work for you, leafy greens like kale, bok choy, and spinach, or small fish eaten whole, like sardines or anchovies, are wonderful alternatives. Almonds, tofu, and calcium-fortified plant milks also play a valuable role. I remember William, 67 years old, who came to me complaining of frequent leg cramps during his daily walks. We boosted his calcium intake. He began drinking a glass of milk in the evening and added greens to every meal. Within 2 months, he returned with a smile. "Doctor, I can walk with my grandson now without stopping for cramps. I feel like I've gained new energy." But here's something I want you to remember. Calcium and movement are inseparable partners. You can drink all the milk you want, eat all the greens, but if you don't move, your bones won't absorb calcium effectively. Weight-bearing exercise, walking, lifting light weights, gardening, these are the signals your bones need to say, "Yes, send that calcium here." Without movement, calcium slips away and bones remain weak. Another mistake I often see is believing that more calcium is always better. It isn't. Too many calcium supplements can build up in the kidneys, cause stones, or deposit in your arteries. The key is not more, but the right balance: enough calcium paired with vitamin D and magnesium to ensure your body actually absorbs and uses it. My friend, I know aging brings fear of falls and fractures, but instead of living in fear, we can build our own armor through small daily choices, a balanced diet, regular movement, and mindful attention to our calcium intake. So let me ask you, if one glass of milk, a few extra greens, and a short daily walk could help you avoid a cane, a walker, or even a wheelchair? Would you do it? After more than 30 years of caring for older adults, I've learned a simple truth. No miracle pill can replace the basic nutrients your body truly needs. Calcium is one of them. It nourishes not just your bones, but also your confidence, your independence, and the joy of still being able to walk, climb stairs, and play with your grandchildren. So today, look at your plate. Is there enough calcium on it? If not, add something small, a cup of yogurt, a serving of greens, or a few tiny fish with bones. It's not just food, it's an investment in your legs and in your future. And I'll leave you with this question. When you reach your 70s and 80s, do you want to stand tall and steady or depend on someone else to hold you up? The answer lies in the choices you make each day, and calcium may be one of the most important of all. Vitamin D. My friend, there's something fascinating I want to share with you. Many people assume that aging naturally means weaker muscles, shrinking bones, and fragile legs. But often those struggles aren't just about age. One of the quietest yet most common culprits is a lack of vitamin D. Let me ask you, when was the last time you let the gentle morning sun touch your skin? For so many people over 60, the answer is, it's been a long time. We spend more hours indoors, worry about sun damage, or simply find it harder to get outside. But by avoiding the sun, we rob our bodies of their best chance to make vitamin D, the very nutrient that helps keep our legs strong and steady. I remember my patient Harold, 71 years old. He walked into my clinic unsteady, his steps shaky. "Doctor, I try to walk every day, but my legs don't cooperate anymore. Even standing up from a chair feels uncertain." When we checked his labs, his vitamin D levels were dangerously low. With a plan, 20 minutes of morning sunlight, vitamin D-rich foods, and a daily supplement, he returned a few months later with a grin. "Doctor, I can stand up without wobbling. My legs feel strong again." Vitamin D isn't just about helping calcium build bones. It's like fuel for your muscles. When you have enough, your muscles contract smoothly, your reflexes stay sharp. Do you know those fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones that help you catch yourself when you trip? They depend on vitamin D. Without it, those fibers weaken, reaction time slows, and falls become more likely. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that older adults with healthy vitamin D levels had stronger muscles, better coordination, and fewer falls. Those deficient in vitamin D, weaker legs, slower responses, and greater risk of fractures. Picture this. You're walking down the sidewalk and catch your foot on a small stone. With strong muscles fueled by vitamin D, you recover quickly. Without it, you stumble, and one simple fall could mean a broken hip and months in recovery. Vitamin D also soothes inflammation. Many of my patients complain of aching legs, stiff joints, or unexplained soreness. When we restore their vitamin D, those symptoms often ease, as if the body has set down a heavy burden. So where can you find vitamin D? Sunshine is the simplest source. Just 15 to 30 minutes outdoors, arms and legs exposed, can make a big difference. Foods like salmon, mackerel, egg yolks, mushrooms, and fortified milk or cereals also add to your intake. But for many older adults, diet and sunlight aren't enough. That's why supplements are often essential. Most experts recommend 800 to 1,000 international units daily for older adults. The best step? Ask your doctor for a blood test to know your exact levels, then adjust from there. I think of Evelyn, 66 years old, who spent years avoiding the sun. She came to me with constant cramps, weak bones, and even low mood. Her vitamin D was almost non-existent. We started simple: 15 minutes of morning sunlight, salmon twice a week, and a 1,000 IU supplement daily. 3 months later, she returned with a glow. "Doctor, my legs don't ache like before, and I feel happier too." Yes, vitamin D even supports your mood and immune system. My friends, sometimes we chase expensive treatments or fancy machines, believing that's the secret to strength. But often, the real answer is simple: the sunlight we've had all our lives. So let me ask you, did you give your body a chance to touch the sun today? If not, try tomorrow. Step outside, breathe deeply, let the light warm your arms and legs. You'll feel not only your body but your spirit lifted. Vitamin D is the bridge between sunlight and strength. It keeps your bones firm, your muscles quick, and your legs steady. And I believe you deserve that. Confidence, freedom, and the joy of moving through life without fear. Vitamin B12. My friend, listen closely to your legs for a moment. Have you ever felt them grow unusually heavy, as if you were dragging invisible weights with every step? Or perhaps a tingling pins and needles sensation creeping through your calves or feet? Maybe you've noticed yourself stumbling more often, losing balance when you least expect it. If you have, your body may be whispering a message. You're low on vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is like the electric wiring that connects your brain to your muscles. It ensures that signals travel smoothly, so your legs respond instantly when your mind says, move. With enough B12, you stand up strong, you walk steadily, you feel in control. But without it, those signals falter. Your steps become shaky, your balance uncertain, and your confidence fades. One of my patients, Gerald, 69, put it this way: "Doctor, my legs feel like they're filled with lead. Even short walks exhaust me, and sometimes they tingle as if tiny needles were poking me." I figured it was just old age. Tests revealed his vitamin B12 was severely low. After a few months of supplements and diet changes, he came back smiling. "Doctor, my legs feel lighter. I can walk around the block again without stopping. It feels like I got my freedom back." Here's the problem. Vitamin B12 deficiency is far more common in older adults than most people realize. As we age, our stomachs produce less acid, which is essential for absorbing B12 from food. Medications like antacids or reflux drugs can make it even harder. So even if your diet seems balanced, your body may still be starving for this vital nutrient. The symptoms creep in so gradually that many dismiss them as just getting older. But weakness, frequent falls, and loss of balance often trace back to B12. And the danger isn't only weak muscles. Long-term deficiency can cause permanent nerve damage. B12 also plays a role in making red blood cells, the tiny vehicles that carry oxygen to your muscles. Without enough, your legs tire quickly. You may feel winded after only a few steps, not because you're lazy, but because your muscles are literally running out of fuel. So where can you get it? Vitamin B12 is found mainly in animal products, lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, and especially clams and liver, which are incredibly rich sources. For vegetarians or those with absorption problems, fortified foods like cereals and plant-based milks, or B12 supplements and even injections can be life-saving. I recall another patient, Clara, 65, who had been vegetarian for decades. She came in with dizziness, fatigue, and trembling legs. Tests showed dangerously low B12. We added fortified foods, plant-based milk with B12, and a small supplement. Within 3 months, she told me, "Doctor, I can work in my garden again without constantly sitting down. My energy is back." My friends, sometimes what your legs need isn't another workout, but the right nutrition to keep the nervous system sharp. B12 doesn't just strengthen muscles, it sharpens communication between your brain and your body, restoring agility and balance. So ask yourself, have I been ignoring my body's warnings? Could the heaviness, tingling, or frequent stumbles be my body's way of saying, I need more B12? Don't wait until one fall changes everything. Don't wait until your legs lose all sensation. Act now. A piece of fish, a glass of milk, or a simple supplement could mean the difference between walking with confidence and relying on a cane. I tell my patients this often. Vitamin B12 doesn't just feed your legs, it feeds your independence, your dignity, and your freedom. So tomorrow, as you plan your meals, ask yourself, does this plate contain the fuel my legs truly need? If not, consider adding it, because you deserve legs that are strong enough not only to carry you, but to carry your life forward. Vitamin B6. My friend, think back to a recent day. You stood up from your chair and within a few steps, your legs felt unusually heavy, as though you had already walked a long road. Or maybe you climbed just a few stairs, and suddenly your heart raced, your breath shortened, and your legs gave out with surprising weakness. Many people assume this is simply getting old. But in truth, the cause is often much smaller and much more preventable. It could be a lack of vitamin B6. Vitamin B6, also called pyridoxine, is one of the quiet workers in your body. It's not as famous as calcium or vitamin D, but without it, your body struggles to turn protein into strong, healthy muscle. You could eat chicken, fish, or eggs every day, but if your body's missing B6, much of that protein never becomes the strength your legs truly need. I remember Janet, 62, from Florida. She came to me frustrated. Doctor, my legs are betraying me. I eat well, I walk daily, yet when I climb stairs, my knees tremble, sometimes even go numb. It feels like my body won't cooperate. Tests revealed she was deficient in B6. With small changes, adding salmon, potatoes, chickpeas, and a low-dose supplement, within weeks she returned, smiling. Doctor, I climb the stairs without shaking. I feel alive again. One of the most overlooked roles of B6 is in nerve signaling. Have you ever felt tingling or numbness in your legs? Or found your steps unsteady, almost as if the signals from your brain were cut off halfway? That's what happens when your nerves lack enough B6. With adequate levels, your brain and muscles communicate clearly. Without it, the signals slow, your steps falter, and falls become more likely. B6 also helps your body make red blood cells, those tiny couriers that carry oxygen to your muscles. When levels are low, your legs are starved of oxygen, leading to fatigue after even mild activity. If you've ever wondered why a short walk leaves you breathless and drained, the answer may not be your age. It may be that your muscles are simply running out of fuel. A Harvard study once noted that older adults with sufficient B6 had stronger muscles, less inflammation, and recovered faster after exercise. Meanwhile, low B6 was linked to chronic fatigue, nerve tingling, and even memory decline. Picture this. You're at a family gathering, the music begins, and you'd love to join the dance floor. But when you try, your legs feel clumsy, out of rhythm. You sit back down, watching instead of joining. I've seen this scene many times in my patients, and often what they truly needed was more vitamin B6. Where can you find it? Luckily, B6 is abundant in everyday foods: chicken, tuna, salmon, bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, and fortified cereals. A dinner of baked salmon with mashed potatoes or a breakfast of cereal with sliced banana can deliver a healthy boost of B6. I told one of my patients, Thomas, 70, who was always tired, "Did you know a single potato can provide more B6 than a supplement pill?" He laughed, doubtful. But after a few weeks of eating more B6-rich foods, he returned saying, "Doctor, I walked around the lake without needing to stop. I never thought something so simple could work." So let me ask you, have you overlooked the smaller nutrients like B6? Could your fatigue and trembling legs be your body's way of asking for this missing piece? The daily need for B6 is small, around 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 milligrams for men over 50. But don't underestimate its impact. And be cautious. Too much from high-dose supplements, taken long-term, can actually harm the nerves. That's why I always recommend focusing on real food first and using supplements only when needed under a doctor's guidance. My friend, your legs are not just tools for walking. They are symbols of independence. Every steady step you take says, "I am still in control of my life." Vitamin B6 is one of the quiet but powerful nutrients that help you keep that independence. Tomorrow, when you prepare your meals, add a banana, a potato, or a serving of salmon. It's not just food, it's a gift to your legs, to your confidence, and to your journey forward. And I'll leave you with this question. If one small change on your plate could give you steadier steps and renewed energy, would you make that change today? Vitamin K. My friend, if bones are the sturdy walls of a house and calcium the bricks, then vitamin K is the builder, the one who makes sure every brick is placed in the right spot. Without vitamin K, calcium can be delivered to the wrong address. Instead of strengthening your bones, it may settle in your joints or even your arteries, leaving you stiff, sore, and fragile. I'll never forget Susan, 70 years old, who came to see me because her knees were stiff and walking had become painful. She said, "Doctor, I drink milk every day and I even take calcium supplements, but my knees are still aching and locking up. When I looked at her diet, I realized she almost never ate leafy greens, one of the richest sources of vitamin K. We made a simple change, adding kale, spinach, and cabbage to her meals. Just 2 months later, she returned smiling. "Doctor, my knees don't feel locked anymore. I can take walks with my granddaughter again." That's the quiet power of vitamin K. It directs calcium to where it belongs, into your bones, not your arteries. Science backs this up. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published research showing that older adults with higher vitamin K intake had stronger bones, fewer hip fractures, and better mobility. And that's not all. Vitamin K reduces inflammation in the joints, slowing the progression of arthritis and easing stiffness that so often robs older adults of freedom. Think about it. Have you ever stood up after sitting for a while and felt your knees creak or lock? That may not be just age. It may be your body asking for more vitamin K. Vitamin K comes in two main forms. K1 is abundant in leafy greens like kale, spinach, collard greens, and Brussels sprouts. K2 is found in fermented foods like natto, fermented soybeans, aged cheeses, and certain animal products like egg yolks and liver. K2 is especially powerful because it stays active in the body longer and is even more effective at directing calcium into the bones. I think of Robert, 74, who had high blood pressure and arterial stiffness. His diet was low in both K1 and K2. Once we added leafy greens and a little aged cheese into his routine, he told me months later, "Doctor, my legs feel lighter. The heaviness isn't there like before. Vitamin K doesn't work overnight. But over time, it quietly strengthens bones, protects arteries, and helps you move with greater ease." One important note, if you're on blood-thinning medications like warfarin, you must be careful with vitamin K. This doesn't mean you can't have it. It simply means you need to keep your intake steady and work with your doctor. The danger isn't vitamin K itself, but sudden changes in how much you consume. My friend, many people think leg strength only comes from muscles and bones, but in truth, it's also about harmony. Bones firm, joints flexible, blood vessels flowing freely. Vitamin K is the silent guardian that keeps this harmony alive. Picture yourself at 75, still walking the park paths each morning, standing up without hesitation, moving without fear of falling. Imagine enjoying that kind of freedom, not because you avoided aging, but because you gave your body what it truly needed. Vitamin K could be one of the keys to that future. So start with small steps. A plate of leafy greens at lunch, a bowl of soup with cabbage at dinner, or a slice of aged cheese now and then. Even simple choices like these can add up to real change. I often tell my patients, every bite of green you eat today is a steadier step you'll take tomorrow. So I'll leave you with this question. Are you willing to add just a little more green, a little more fermented food to your daily meals so that your legs can carry you with strength and freedom for years to come? Vitamin K won't turn back the clock, but it will give you something far more valuable: resilience, flexibility, and the quiet confidence that you can still walk your path independently. Omega-3. My friend, if there were a nutrient that flowed through your body like a gentle stream, soothing joints, nourishing blood vessels, and easing tired muscles, it would be omega-3. Most people know omega-3 as good for the heart, but what they often don't realize is how deeply it supports the strength and freedom of your legs. I'll never forget Frank, 72, a retired construction worker. He came to me with aching knees and swelling that worsened whenever the weather turned cold. "A doctor, even a short walk feels like sand grinding in my joints," he said. Despite taking calcium and vitamin D, his legs still ached. When I looked at his diet, I saw he rarely ate fatty fish or nuts, both rich in omega-3. We added salmon twice a week, chia seeds, and a simple fish oil supplement. A few months later, he returned with a grin. "Doctor, I can walk the whole park loop without pain. My knees don't feel like they're grinding anymore." That's the quiet healing of omega-3. It reduces inflammation in your joints, helps your blood flow smoothly, and eases muscle soreness after activity. In short, it makes your legs not just stronger, but lighter and more flexible. Science agrees. A Harvard study showed that older adults with higher omega-3 levels walked faster, experienced less joint pain, and had a lower risk of arthritis. And because omega-3 improves circulation, your legs receive more oxygen and nutrients, reducing that heavy, sluggish feeling many people describe at the end of the day. Have you ever noticed swelling in your legs at night, or a sense that your blood just isn't moving well? That's where omega-3 can quietly step in, restoring flow, lightening your stride. And the best part? Omega-3 isn't rare. It's hiding in everyday foods: salmon, mackerel, sardines, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. Just 2 or 3 servings of fatty fish a week can make a world of difference. I remember Helen, 68, who loved gardening but stopped because of swollen, aching knees. I encouraged her to add chia seeds to her breakfast and fish to her dinner twice a week. 2 months later, she said with joy, "Doctor, I planted an entire bed of daisies last week without my legs swelling up." My friend, aging doesn't mean surrendering the joys of walking, gardening, or dancing. Sometimes it's simply about fueling your body differently. Omega-3 is part of that fuel, a gentle oil that keeps your joints gliding, your blood flowing, and your steps light. So let me ask you, if 1 serving of salmon or a sprinkle of chia seeds could help you walk farther with less pain, would you add it to your plate? Remember, strong legs aren't just about bones and muscles. They're about flexibility, circulation, and balance. Omega-3 is like the oil that keeps the whole machine running smoothly. Tomorrow, when you shop, pause at the seafood counter. Pick up a piece of salmon, or add a small bag of walnuts or chia seeds to your cart. Those choices aren't just food, they're investments in your freedom. My friend, aging is not the end of movement. It can be a new chapter, where you still rise each morning, step out with confidence, and enjoy life fully. Omega-3 is one of the keys to unlocking that chapter. Conclusion and call to action. My friend, we've taken quite a journey together through the essential nutrients that keep your legs strong: vitamin D, calcium, B12, magnesium, potassium, vitamin K, vitamin B6, omega-3, and collagen. Each one may seem small on its own, but together they form the foundation of freedom, the ability to walk, to stand tall, to live independently. Let me ask you something important. If your legs grew weaker, what would you truly lose? It's not just walking, it's your freedom. It's the joy of strolling through the park with your grandchildren, dancing at a family celebration, or climbing the church steps with confidence. Strong legs mean dignity. They mean independence. In my 30 years as a physician, I've seen too many patients whose lives changed from one simple fall: Dorothy, who broke her hip in the kitchen; Harold, who could no longer stand up without wobbling; Margaret, who stopped leaving her house because she feared her legs would betray her. But I've also seen the other side: patients who nourish their bodies with the right vitamins and minerals and regain their strength, their balance, and most importantly, their confidence. I'll never forget Margaret's smile when she told me, "Doctor, I can walk with my friends again in the mornings. I feel like life gave me back my freedom, and I believe with all my heart that you deserve that too." Aging does not have to mean surrendering your independence. It can be a new chapter, one where you walk more slowly perhaps, but with confidence and peace. A chapter where each step is steady, strong, and free. So I want to leave you with a challenge. Are you willing to give your legs the attention they deserve so you can keep walking freely into the years ahead? Start small: a handful of nuts, a plate of greens, a piece of salmon, a walk in the morning sunlight. Each choice may seem tiny, but together they are the difference between living in fear of weakness or living with strength and dignity. And if this message has resonated with you, I ask 3 things. Click the like button so this message can reach more people who need it. Leave a comment below. Tell me about your own struggles with your legs or what step you'll take today to care for them. Your story may inspire someone else. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video, where we'll explore even more ways to protect your health and independence after 50. My friend, life isn't measured only in years, but in the quality of each step. So give your body what it truly needs, and your legs will carry you with strength, with freedom, and with joy. Thank you for spending this time with me. I wish you strong legs, a happy heart, and the courage to keep walking forward, confident and free.